Nigga wanna see me fall. Stephen Curry, how I ball. Gosha garments and a white 3 on my body. I'm an icon, man. Damn, a girl about a 10. I should fuck her in the Benz. Niggas say they.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy JR, and I'm back again with another PUBG video. And in this video, I've been wanting to make a video like this for a while. I'm going to be going over the top 5 of my favorite weapon classes that you can use on this game. Before this video starts, man, leave me a comment at some point in this video if you guys don't mind, and let me know what your favorite set of weapons are. I went over 5 different combinations in this video. I plan on making a part 2. If you're new here, man, hit that sub button if you enjoy this type of content. Hit that like button for this video as well if you agree with any of the information that I have to say. Let's see if we can get this video to 100 likes. But yeah, man, we're just gonna get right into the video. Alright, so this first set of weapons to me is probably the most OP lineup on the game. However, I would say unless you're constantly going for care packages, then you're hardly ever going to actually get these two weapons together. But you could kind of argue on what your favorite crate weapons are and what the best crate weapons are for you. But in my opinion, you definitely can't beat the combination of the Groza and the AWM. I'd say both of those are 2 of the most powerful weapons that you can get on the game, especially when you have level 3 gear as well. With that lineup, you'd almost say that should be an automatic victory.
A few moments later.
Oh my god, dude. It never fails. I've come in seconds. Some people may not like the Groza because you can't put a compensator on there or a grip. However, I feel like without either one of those, you know, the gun melts people, and in my opinion, it's one of the most OP guns on the game. And of course, we have the AWM. That is by far my favorite sniper on the game. It can one-shot a level 3 helmet, and in the upcoming PUBG updates, you're going to see the snipers, especially the AWM, get a lot stronger. So, in my opinion, these 2 weapons together has to be one of the best combinations that you can get on the game. Alright, so this next combination is my personal favorite, and of course everybody has their own favorite weapons, but my favorite combo on PUBG currently, and I think it's a really good one, is the M4 and the M24 sniper rifle that you can find out anywhere in the map. Now you can have the car or the M24, either one of those I would definitely take because the car and the M24 are kind of rare, but if I have it my way, then I'm going to have a M24 over the car just for the damage. And then the M4 is, you know, my favorite, you know, AR on the game. I believe it's the, you know, most OP one because it takes a tac stock. You can use it at the medium range, short range. You can put a scope on it and hit targets from deep. It has a really high fire rate, and it has a really high time to kill rate as well. So that makes for my favorite AR in the game, and I think it's a really deadly combination. Paired with a bolt action such as the M24, you have, you know, short range, medium range, and long range distance. The M4 is also extremely easy to control, especially if you have the attachments, making it, like I said, my favorite AR in the game. I love the M24 over the car for one. I like that you can get the extended mag for it, and that gives you more shots before you have to reload. It reloads faster, and it also has more damage dealt as well. It's not a huge difference from the car. As you guys know, the M24 used to be a crate weapon. And when it came to the actual world, when it came out of the crate weapon and able to find in the actual map, then they nerfed it a lot, but it still has high damage, and those 2 paired together is definitely my favorite combination on the game, and one that you should try as well. Alright, so this next one I would say would be best for people that might be new to the game, or if you currently struggle aiming on the game, then I believe that this set of weapons would be perfect for you. I would definitely have to go with the UMP and the Mini, or if you are for whatever reason on Sandhawk, then the QBU. The Mini and the QBU are extremely similar, but you can only find the QBU on Sandhawk. Anyway, the UMP and Mini or QBU is a really good combination. Both of these guns are extremely easy to control, and I believe that they're user friendly as well, especially with the UMP. it's extremely easy to find an attachment such as a comp or you know, grip for a UMP. You get either one of those and that gun is basically a laser. With the Mini or the QBU, you do see a lot of like really good players rocking those guns because they're extremely easy to control, especially with a comp on the Mini or the QBU. You can basically spray at range with either of those guns. So both of those are really good guns in my opinion, and a really good weapon set. The only downfall to that is I'm not a fan of the SMGs, just because I believe it kind of takes away from the mid-range game. But you can still use like the QBU or the Mini for the mid-range game and long-range game as well. But for me personally, I like to be able to spray at the mid-range, so I'm just not a fan of the SMGs. But you know, the UMP, especially on Sandhawk, or the SMGs in general on Sandhawk, are really good because most of your fights are close quarters. So I would definitely recommend that set of weapons for anybody that might be new to the game or struggling with your aim. Alright, so this next set of weapons is one that I would primarily recommend for Vikendi, but it could also work for Sandhawk, or like I said, you can use any weapon class that you want. But the reason why I think this is good for Vikendi is because the lack of sniper rifles and DMRs. You know, on Vikendi it's really hard to find those two things, so, and with the map being so big and open, you definitely want to have a good choice of snipers. So one thing that I think is a good setup for that map and would be good for Sandhawk as well is the lineup of a Vector and a G36. That sounds a little, you know, unorthodox, but the Vector up close shreds people and it's extremely powerful. You know, it's pretty OP right now, I'm not gonna lie, especially with an extended mag. You get a grip or a comp, you can even put a silencer on there and it takes a tac stock. With any of those attachments, that gun basically becomes a laser and you can shred people up close. And then you have the G36, which is a Vikendi weapon only. You can only find that on Vikendi. Now keep in mind you can swap out the G36 for like an M4 or even the M16, but I just went with the G36 just because I do like that gun, and believe it or not, it is a good gun to snipe with. You know, a common thing that people will do is they will run a 4x on an AR and then they will spray with it even from range, and that is really effective, especially if you're able to control the recoil. So if you get a G36 and your Vector, you use the Vector for up close combat and then you use the G36 for your mid-range to long-range battles. You can, you know, put a scope on the G36. Like I said, you can spray with it, especially if you get like a vert or angled grip or flash hider comp, any of those attachments. You know, that gun is really easy to control, especially when you're spraying from distance. And I believe that is a really good combination for Vikendi, like I said, because it's so hard to find DMRs and sniper rifles. I do think this would work good for Sandhawk as well. I know you can't find a G36, but you can use a QBZ, for example, and run a Vector, and basically do the same thing because most of your fights are medium to short range battles. So that is a really good combination, and I definitely think you guys should try that one as well. Alright, for these next set of weapons and the last of this video, I'm going with the 7.62 weapons of the barrel and the SLR. Both of these weapons, as you guys should know, are kind of hard to control, especially without the attachments, especially the barrel. Without any of the attachments on the barrel, it is extremely hard to control. But if you can get the recoil down and hit your shots with that weapon, it is extremely effective. It shreds people, and it has it has one of the best time to kill ratings as well. So it is a really good weapon. If you can hit your shots, it is kind of difficult at times. I use the barrel sometimes. I'm still trying to get used to it, but if you can, it is extremely effective. If you can get the attachments like a compensator or a grip, especially the vert grip, because that gun does have a lot of vertical recoil, it really does help that weapon out a lot. And once you get those attachments and you're able to be able to hit your shots more accurate, then that gun becomes extremely deadly. The SLR, that is one of my favorite, you know, DMR. That probably is my favorite actual DMR on the game. I never pass up an SLR unless I already have a car or M24 or AWM. The SLR, some people say it should be a crate weapon because it's so powerful. However, it is a lot more rare than the other DMRs. So as far as the accuracy goes, it does have a lot of recoil, especially if you don't have any attachments. It does take a cheap pad and a comp. So if you're able to at least get the cheap pad, it does help out a lot, and it is extremely deadly. Like, you can basically one-shot somebody in the head if they are not full health, even if they have a level 2 helmet. So it does have it does have a lot of damage, and it is one of my favorite DMRs. This combination is one that you should definitely try. It may take a little, you may need to practice with it and get used to these weapons, but once you do, they are extremely effective together. Alright, there you guys have it. There is 5 different weapon classes that you can use. Like I said, I do want to make a part 2 to this because there are some weapons that I left out that I personally, like a lot. I generally use different weapons throughout each game just to mix it up a little bit. And some weapons that, I left out that I would like to include in my next video would be the weapons like the QB, the QBZ, the Scar. The Scars are my favorite weapons, the SKS, weapons like that. And then I may include some more crate weapons. Like, I have an idea of ranking the 5 crate weapons from best to worst. So all kinds of new content is coming. If you made this far, man, I really appreciate you guys. Don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much. That's all I have on the day. I'm out. Peace.